Hey you guys, it's Julie Marie and I want to show you what happened to Christine and Emma's room. Actually, then it was Janice's room. We always name it after who stayed in our guest room last. And so it's still Janice's room, but actually it's my baby's room. So I have all these babies growing. I wanted to show you, check out my grow lights. I've got a deal on these grow lights for you guys. protectivediet.com/grow lights, one word, grow lights. I'll put the link in the comments below and you'll get 10% off. These lights are awesome, and a couple in Illinois, they build them, and look at what they did for me. So these are all my repurposed seeds from last year. Some are new and most are repurposed. So a lot of them came from, this one was saved from my tomatillo plant. And now you can see here I have 3 tomatillo plants going on. So I am now making new trays. You can see I repurposed all my lettuce, mixed greens, and spinach tubs. And these cups, I couldn't find anything repurposed that I could use easily. So these cups I'll repurpose for next year, no big deal. You just put a hole in the bottom. These are my old baking pans I saved. I'm so glad I saved them, and I've had these for years, for at least a decade. So I repurposed them for my trays. I saved them in the garage thinking I would use them to sort screws or something, but they came in handy for this. But you can use these as well. You just want something that holds them flat, because you are filling the water trays to water from the bottom up. But you can see I have tons of tomato plants. So today I'm transplanting them, one to each of these cups. And these came from my neighbor's garden last summer. Louise's plum tomatoes were the star of all the tomatoes I tried last summer. So I had to save some of her seeds. And oh my gosh, the tomato plants smell amazing. I love that smell. But I have 1,000-head kale. That's a really, really big, like, walking stick kale. And pink okra. And oh my gosh, mini bell peppers to ferment into little pepperoncini. And this one was a red sweet pepper that I got from Azure last year. Save the seeds. I was showing you all last summer how the things that I loved, I saved the seeds for. Let's see. This is another mini bell pepper. I should organize them so I can show you better. Jalapenos. There's a couple in there, so I'll be transferring them. My serranos. This came from Angela's garden. She mailed this Mexican oregano plant to me, and it's gonna be moving into my garden in about 2 weeks. So I have a bunch of different plum tomatoes here, different varieties. I started some chives inside. I don't really know why, but then a tomato plant slipped in there too. I don't know. Because I have a lot of chives that came back in my garden from last year. That's one of the best perennials that I always had in Chicago. And I think my chives are still alive at Cindy's house from moving. She saved them in a pot. These are yellow bell peppers, the seeds that I saved. And then I have melons over here. Let's see. This one was a garden, our community garden juice box watermelon. I got a few plants going there. This was one of my favorite watermelons of the year. And there's some parsley. I have tons of parsley growing. I don't know why I started that. Russian zucchini that did not sprout. This was from our community garden. I'm kind of bummed because that was one of my favorite zucchinis I've ever had. Armenian cucumber. That guy didn't sprout. But I think those are the only 2 that didn't work out. There's another yellow bell pepper. Cassava melon. This one I got, it was an Azure standard seed, and that melon was delicious. They were huge melons, so I was like, I've got to save those seeds and replant them. So you don't really have to buy seeds. After you buy seeds, you've got them. This one's a plum tomato. This is the name here. I'm not going to even try and pronounce that Italian name, but I heard it was great, and it was an organic seed that I got this year. And this one's another Italian plum tomato, Martino. And then I have, this is Jerome, my next door neighbor, the gardener on the block. Jerome, this is his Crenshaw melons, and I'm just gonna have a competition to see if I can grow a sweeter melon than him, because he is very melon particular. This one's another Italian tomato. And then I have, what do I have here? Oh, golden nugget. These are yellow cherry tomatoes that Angela sent me the seeds for. Thanks, Angela. You made this even more fun. Planting tomatoes from you. 42-day tomato from Angela. I know I have some of her heirloom seeds from her family. This is Angela's Italian cherry peppers. Look at them, Angela. They came up beautiful. What else? Oh, Armenian cucumbers, my new favorite. And then I have some Chicago pickling cucumbers. That's my 1,000-head kale. They're like huge kale plants. I have a whole bunch of varieties of kale that I'm direct sowing into the garden. This one is an alpha cucumber. This was a free seed that I received from Baker Creek. This one's a muncher cucumber. Oh, I could go through all of these, but I am going to stop there because I will have lots of garden tours outside this summer. It's not as fun inside doing the babies, my little seedling garden tour. I sure am excited. The first seeds to sprout were my basil. Where's my basil? There's my baby basil, and they're trailing behind. The next seeds to sprout were all my tomatoes. And then just when I thought it wasn't gonna happen, I thought it wasn't gonna be a spicy summer, those peppers, they popped out. And the last ones to sprout were my eggplant. There they are. So I hope you're having fun organizing your garden, getting it started. I know those of you in the Midwest, we have the same planting dates. That it's usually Mother's Day, but it's May 15th. Everybody's moving outside. Take care and have fun. Happy gardening. Best of health. Get yourself some grow lights. Oh, and down here, I've got to show you before I go. I am collecting these frosting buckets from Costco. I just go to the bakery and I say, do you have any empty frosting buckets? And they're like, sure. And they put them aside for me now. And I take them home and wash them out. And I am going to start a hydroponics project. I want to grow some greens, some kale, and some lettuce and stuff like that in the wintertime underneath these awesome grow lights. That's what these grow lights are designed for. But man, they sure did a good job on my garden starts. Take care. Love you guys. Best of health.